All right, wonderful. So, good morning and welcome, everyone. And we have this next 30 minutes to really dive in to a breath meditation practice. So before we talk our way around our body and become super tuned inwards, let's just feel into where it needs to move as you're sitting here. And I would suggest sitting for this practice this morning. Feel the sitting bones pressing down into the floor, and how that foundation is what allows you to sit up. So it's really only with the support of the earth beneath you that you're able to lift yourself tall. And interestingly, it's only through the tension of your body pressing against the floor that creates impact, that creates tension. That is what allows you to sit upright. And isn't that just the most incredible metaphor for life? It is the tension that allows you to sit up tall. It's so easy, isn't it, to think it's good, bad on that polarity scale. But in truth, all of it is all of it. No good, no bad. Just what it is. Okay, so we're breathing through the nose. The mouth is closed unless your nose is blocked. Your tongue is gently pressing up into the roof of your mouth. Let's start by taking some neck rolls, so maybe semicircles or maybe full circles. I'm feeling fluid. Taking responsibility for finding the spaciousness, the softness within your neck, any way that feels good to you. And then taking those circles to the shoulders, these morning shoulders. How are they feeling today? How is the breath able to weave its way through the circles? If you want to bring elbows out and arms out, you can do that. And then if you feel comfortable and your hands are on your knees, you can circle your heart. Slow circles, gently waking ourselves up. And switching directions if you're ready to. And hopefully there's a sense of the breath slowing down. As the circles slow down and you're able to drop your awareness just a bit deeper into the molecules of your body. And bringing your arms up overhead, have a stretch through your fingertips. Oh. And then folding your elbows, holding onto either elbow. And we're helping the diaphragm to wake up this morning, so breathing into the belly. As you inhale, belly expands. As you exhale, tummy button pulls back towards spine. And then bringing your arms down to your side, laying them in a comfortable position. And letting all the fidgets and the restlessness settle. So we come to a place of stillness, breathing through the nose. Maybe you can feel the air as it travels inwards through the nostrils and then outwards through the nostrils. Maybe you can take your awareness to the space between the eyebrows, home to the pineal gland. And just focusing your awareness on that space, noticing what you feel. Place of clear seeing. What is it that we see? So we know that we are aware of about 1% of reality at any time. Our senses are able to process about 1% of the sonic waves that are sound, about 1% of the spectrum of light that is reality. So we have, at any point in our world, we have about 1% tuned in to what is happening around us. And we've chosen that bandwidth, whatever that radio setting is that we've chosen, we're creating that, we know that. So as we sit here, breathing in and out through our nose, just be aware of that choice of bandwidth, that reality that we have selected, we've chosen. In this moment, what do you see? Your eyes are closed. What are the images that are presenting, that you're aware of? Almost as if this pineal gland is a movie screen with images projected onto it. What do you see? And then your sense of hearing, and continuing this slow and beautiful breath in and out through the nose. Tune into your sense of hearing and expand it outwards. How far away can you hear? Is there any trace of birds, traffic, people? What are you able to hear? Coming a little closer, can you hear anything nearer to you? The sound of your breath. Maybe even the sound of your heart and the pulse, the current of flow within your body. Tuning into your sense of touch. So the skin on your face is probably just open to the air. How does that feel? What's the temperature? And then around the hairline and the neck and the skull, you've got the feeling of your hair. Maybe you can sense a change in temperature, texture, weight. And as you move down through your neck and your throat, across your collar and your shoulders, then you start to have your clothing, straps and edges, the textures, and through your arms and your torso. How is the temperature different? Pressure points different? And depending on the position of your hands, noticing where they contact something else or are exposed to the air, the texture of the palms compared to the texture of the back of your hands. How aware can you be? The weight, the warmth. And coming into the pelvis, around the waist and the hips, there's going to be more straps and tightness and different textures. Across the tummy. Can you be aware of that? And the part of you that connects to the floor, that tension, that allows the stability. The tension of your foundation. And then depending on how you've positioned your legs, where they connect with one another or not, or the floor, how your clothing feels. And the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet, perhaps temperature shifting, or maybe they're cocooned in coziness. How aware are you able to be to your sense of touch? This extraordinary organ, your skin. Aware of the tongue in your mouth, maybe gently pressing up into the roof of your mouth. And a sense of taste within the mouth. A memory of all the delicious tastes that are available to you. Maybe when you remember the taste of what you've got planned for breakfast. Maybe you notice that the mouth starts to respond to that. How intelligent our bodies are. They don't need our brain to tell us anything. They hold their own intelligence, each cell. And your sense of smell in this space, it's like being the fish swimming in water, isn't it? You don't know the water's there. What can you smell in this moment? Is there anything you're able to trace from the space around you? How aware can you be of your sense of smell? And we're still breathing through the nose. Long, smooth breaths, setting the beat, the pulse of the respiration of your body with your breath. This pulsing movement of breath is very similar to the pulsing movement of the fluid within your body. Can you sense that? When we feel emotion, it moves in a pulse, it moves like water. You feel the rush of a blush, the heat of embarrassment when it travels up through, maybe from your neck to your face, or the chilling of realization when you've made an error, something's gone wrong. It doesn't arrive in an instant, it travels through you, riding currents. Are you aware of any of those currents now? And these frameworks that we contain it in, these perceptions, these narratives that we package our 1% into. This is the story. This is how I frame it. And this is the reality I accept. And can we expand outside of that framework? Outside the boundary of form, into the formless spaciousness. Crashing outside of that 1% and opening up to more. We know through the science of quantum physics that on a molecular level, when you go down through the molecules, you go down through the atoms, you go down into the smallest known ingredient that makes your form, what really only exists is space. Tiny molecules of space bouncing around with multiple realities at any time within that space. Can we expand our 1% to include that formlessness? Can we release the holding on to a framework so that we expand into infinite spaciousness? No boundary to frame your perception of I. That boundary dissolves as we surrender to the truth that we are formless, infinite, expansive, unable to be born, unable to die, unable to separate from one another. anything that frames our perception into separation is just part of the 1%. And coming up to the space of the pineal gland, the third eye. Very consciously sending the inhale up to the space of the third eye and allowing whatever it is that is travelling on that breath that keeps us alive to pool within the space of the third eye, and then exhaling, breathing out through the nostrils, like an inverted V of breath. Are you aware? What are you aware of? Will you expand into the infinite spaciousness of truth? Softening the face, softening the lips into a very subtle, gentle smile, softening the corners of the eyes, and since we are all things and all times and all places, there really is no way we can get any of this wrong. So maybe it is just about having as much fun as you can along the way. And wriggling fingers, wriggling toes, and starting to move any part of you that wants to move. And let's bring one hand up onto our hearts, the other hand over the top, and drop chin towards chest. Calling to mind those things we're grateful for in this moment. And smiling at our 1% awareness and choosing what we will fill that 1% with today. Namaste, everybody.